الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise is due to Allah. We praise Him and we thank Him that we are able to assemble yet again, even though it's in a digital environment. We say all praise is due to Allah, and we ask Allah that He bless each and every one of us with this effort we are making on a consistent basis, and we ask Allah that He make us steadfast in our seeking of knowledge. Inshallah, today, as I said last week, we want to complete this chapter number 12. So we would have read this chapter, we would have read the conversation last week again. All right, and today we want to just go through the exercises. We will go through the exercises, all right? Now, before we go through these exercises, are there any questions? There was one thing I was supposed to check last week. All right. I think Brother Dika was asking about the difference between why do we say amsi and masa'a? Masa'a meaning evening and amsi meaning yesterday. All right, both are periods of time, but I believe the question was more along the line as why does one have kasra on the last letter and the other has fatha on the last letter. All right. Right, so if you go back here, see the conversation here. Right. حامد ماذا تفعلين يا أم أحمد؟ أم أحمد أبحث عن الدواء. I am searching for the medication or the medicine. الذي أخذته من المستشفى أمس. That I would have taken or I would have received from the hospital yesterday. And then lower down in the passage, we have here, where is it? Right. Right here. Al-Banat said, Naam, when they were asked whether they're going to visit their aunt. They replied, Naam, na'rifu dhalika, shafaha Allahu, sanadhabu li ziyaratiha hadha al-masa'a. Right? So in this case, this is telling you when the particular action is going to take place. So when the particular action is taking place, all right? So when are they going to visit? They're going to visit this evening, right? They're going to visit this evening. Now, this is something called maf'ul fihi. Maf'ul fihi, you know, we would have done maf'ul bihi, which is things. Right, maf'ul bihi is what we call the object, right? So the action is taking place on that particular noun, whether it's a thing, a person, as the case might be, right? So that is the object of the sentence. So what do we call that in Arabic? Maf'ul bihi, maf'ul bihi, right? Then you have now something called maf'ul fihi. Fi meaning what? In it, all right? So the action is in this particular thing. In this case, it is a period of time. So this particular action is taking place in this period of time. So what do we call it? Maf'ul fihi. Maf'ul fihi. And this is also mansub, or in English we say accusative. All right. And that is why this here, al-masa'a, it has a fatha on it, because it is called maf'ul fihi. All right. So please know that maf'ul bihi, which is the object of the sentence, the thing that the action is taking place on, the actual object of the action, right? Not the doer. The doer of the action is one thing, and then the thing in which the action is being done to is something else. All right. So the common example used in many schools is when one person hits another. All right. So for example, you could say, ضرب سعيد حامدا. Sa'id hits Hamid. So what is the action? The action is what? Hitting. Who is doing the action? Sa'idun. Sa'id is doing the hitting. All right. Who is being hit? Hamid. So therefore, it is maf'ul bihi. Maf'ul bihi. The person who is, the action is taking place on. Right? And of course, you wouldn't say Hamidun, you would say Hamidan, because it is maf'ul bihi, and therefore it is mansub, and the sign of it being mansub will be the fatha on the last letter. All right. Now we have here maf'ul fihi. So you ask the question, when is this action taking place? So we ask, who did the action take place on? Now we're asking, when did the action take place? Right, so it's called maf'ul fihi. So in that time period, all right, and it is also mansub or accusative in the case of nasb. All right, and it has that fatha to show that here, right? So you're gonna go into the exercises now. I think we did the first one already. So let's look at the second one. And I believe you would have attempted some of these. So just to refresh our memories again, what is the second one asking here? Anith al-fa'ilu, anith al-fa'ila fi kulli min al-jumal al-atiya. To make feminine the subject of the following sentences. Right? In this case, we are saying it is the fa'il that we are changing to feminine. And if we change the fa'il to feminine, we may have to change, of course, the verb to match the subject. Okay. So let's look at it here. Let me get the marker. How do you get the marker? So we have here ata'arifu, ata'arifu. So the Isa asks the question, and the ta'arifu is a verb. All right. Now notice who is the fa'il here. It is who? Akhi, ya akhi, oh my brother, right? My brother. So if it's the akhi, then it is of course somebody being spoken to, masculine. So we use ta'arifu, ta'arifu. Ata'arifu al-lughata al-arabiyyata Ya akhi, the answer, if you change it to feminine, you will say, أتعرفين اللغة العربية يا أختي, oh my sister. All right? So this here, of course, fa'il is the akhi here. And you change it to feminine. So we have أختي. And because we change that, we have to change the أتعرفين. So the difference here is what? We have تعرف and تعرفين. So this is you. One is masculine, one is feminine. Both are singular. All right? So let's look at the next one. ماذا تأكل يا محمد? ماذا تأكل يا محمد? So we change the fa'il from Muhammad to, let's say, Aisha. So we say ماذا تأكلين يا عائشة. Right? So notice the difference here is what? We're adding a ya and a nun. So let's look at it here. We have the root letters here. Yeah. Too far now. All right, so you have here ta'kulu. Ta'kulu comes from ta'kulu comes from akala. Akala. All right? Akala. Akala yakulu. So that's the past tense is akala. So the present tense will be what? We add the present tense pronoun, which is what? Ya. All right? Akala yakulu. Put a sukun on the second letter. Yakulu. Akala yakulu. Now, this means he eats, present tense. So we change the yakulu to ta'kulu. And you get ta'kulu. This means you, masculine singular, eat. All right? Now you want to change it to feminine, you, feminine singular. So you eat or you eat, masculine or feminine. We say feminine is what? Ta'kulina. So we add now what? Adiya, adinun. Ta'kulina. Ta'kulina. So you see how it changes from akala, yakulu, ta'kulu, ta'kulina. So you go from akala, past tense, to yakulu, which is present tense. What do? We add the present tense particle or letter in front, which is ya, and that ya changes depending on the conjugation of the verb, whether it's masculine, feminine, singular, plural, first person, second person, and so on, right? So the ya is third person masculine singular. To make it second person masculine singular, we change from a ya ta. So instead of yakulu, we get takulu. So the yakulu is he eats, takulu is you eat. All right. To make it feminine, you say takulina, ayan and nun at the end. All right. So this is what we have to do in this exercise here. All right. Takulina. Any questions? So you get, so this will change to ماذا تأكلين يا عائشة. Next one. أين تجلس في الفصل يا أحمد. يا أحمد. أين تجلس. So أنت تجلس. This is you, masculine, right? All of these will be masculine. Okay. So change it to feminine, you get أين تجلسين. أين تجلسين في الفصل يا خديجة. Right. Let me see if I could take this off here. All right, so I want some volunteers to try the others now. Easy, just change تجلس تجلسين, تذهب تذهبين, تأكل تأكلين, and so on. Okay? تقول تقولين, ترجع ترجعين. Just add a ya and a nun at the end and change the name from masculine to feminine name. Okay? So who's going to try number 4? Number 4.
Me.
Mata. Go ahead. Who's that?
متى تذهبين إلى المستشفى يا أمي؟
نعم. أحسنت. So متى تذهبين إلى المستشفى يا أمي؟ نعم أحسنت. Good, very good. So we just add ya and nun. All right, next one, number 5, رقم 5. ماذا تقول يا أخي؟
ماذا
Go ahead.
ماذا تأكلين يا أختي؟
نعم. ماذا تأكلين يا أختي؟ نعم. رقم 6. متى ترجع من المدرسة يا علي؟ من الذي؟ Anybody else? Number 6. 6.
متى ترجعين من المدرسة يا آمنة؟
نعم. فهمت. متى ترجعين من المدرسة يا علي؟ The next one أبو باسط. 7. إلى من تكتب؟ رسالة نعم. بشير. أنث الفاعل إلى من؟ إلى من تكتبين؟ نعم.
هذا رسالتي يا أختي.
نعم. نعم. Next ones رقم 8. أي سورة تحفظ الآن يا أخي؟ أكمل. تحفظين يا أختي. نعم. Last one. أتفهم الدرس جيدا يا حامد So instead of تفهم, you will say أتفهمين الدرس جيدا يا سعاد. All right, so let's go on. Skipping the last one, let's go on to the next exercise. أنث الفاعل في كل من الجمل الآتية. To make feminine the fa'il in each of the following sentences. Similar instructions, right? But here we are dealing with the plural. Whereas in the previous one we were dealing with singular, masculine, singular, feminine, singular. Here we are dealing with masculine plural and feminine plural. So what do we have here? Let's look at the first example, or the first one as an example. أين تذهبون يا إخوان? أين تذهبون يا إخوان? Where are you going, oh brothers? So here we have from the verb ذهب, then you have يذهب, then you go تذهب, you plural go, you get تذهبون. You see how it breaks down? From ذهب you get, let's see if you can just break it down again here. From the root ذهب, past tense verb, we get يذهب, at the ya in front, يذهب. So ذهب, he went, يذهب, he goes, present tense. All right. Then you change it to you go. So instead of يذهب, you get تذهب. All right. Then you want to make plural, say add the wow and the noon at the end. Okay. تذهبون, تذهبون. All right. أين تذهبون يا إخوان? Where are you going, oh brothers? We make it feminine. You say أين تذهبن. أين تذهبن. Notice the difference. This is a pattern. You have to apply this pattern going forward. All right. أين. So you still have the same ta. So the ta is used for both singular masculine and singular feminine, as well as plural masculine and plural feminine. All these four are second person. Second person. You masculine singular, you feminine singular, you masculine plural, you feminine plural. All of them are second person. So remember that. Try to remember and link that. The ta is for present tense verbs. What are we saying here? The ta at the beginning of the present tense verbs generally indicates what? Second person. Okay? you. For one exception, which is the third person feminine singular. All right, carries the same pattern as the second person masculine singular. Third person feminine singular means she. Okay, so I will carry the same as you masculine singular. Right, but the general thing to remember, the ta at the beginning of a present tense verb indicates second person. So that's what we're doing just now. Previous lesson as well as this one. Okay. So we have tadhab. We're not changing to tadhabna. Tadhabna. Okay. You see how you have a sukun on the ba? So the sukun goes on the last root letter. In this case, you remember the root letters are important. Whenever you're looking at patterns, we always have to find the root letters first. 3 root letters. Dal, ha, ba. Okay? Dal, ha, ba. This is important because we need to know how to apply the pattern. So we are saying here for this pattern, the sukun goes on the last letter of the root letters. And then we add the noon at the end. Noonan niswa. All right? So you have here aina tadhabna. Aina tadhabna ya akhawat. Where are you going, oh sisters? Okay, let's look at the next one. Aina taskununa ya rijal. Where are you all living, oh men? So we change that to feminine. You have aina taskunna. Aina taskunna. Notice here we have a noon as the last letter, and we also have a noon to add on to it. Okay? So what happens? You have like a double noon. So you can put a shadda, all right? Aina taskunna. So it is 2 noons. First one has a sukun, the second one has a fatha. So which is basically what a shadda is, all right? 2 noons or 2 letters with the first one having a sukun and the second one having a vowel, all right? So you get here taskunna. Aina taskunna with a shadda ni noon, ya rijal. Number 3, رقم 3. القهوة تشربون أم الشاي يا إخوان? Is it coffee that you all are drinking or tea? Or brothers? So we change it to feminine. You get what? القهوة تشربنا. تشربنا. Remember the roots are what? The root letters are what? Sheen, Ra, and Ba. So therefore, the sukun will go on the last root letter, which is the Ba. All right? Shariba. So tashrabuna, we get tashrabna. Amishaya, ya akhawat. All right, so who wants to try the next one? Raqam 4. أتعرفون رقم هاتف الجامعة يا إخوان? Do you all know the telephone number of the university? Oh, brothers. So you change it to feminine, you will get what? Who wants to try?
أتعرفنا رقم هاتف الجامعة يا أخواتي.
نعم، أحسن. أتعرفنا رقم هاتف الجامعة يا أخوات? Do you know the number of the university or telephone number of university or sisters? Next one. لما تضحكون يا أولاد؟ لما تضحكون يا أولاد? Why are you all laughing? Oh, boys or children. Right? So you would say, instead of أولاد, you can change it to banat. So how you would change this now? Who wants to try it? Same pattern. نعم
Sorry.
تضحكن لما تضحكن سكون on the kaf, no wow on the noon at the end, right? لما تضحكن يا بنات. Let's just do a couple more and then we will go on to the next exercise, all right? أتقرؤون القرآن كل صباح يا إخوان. Do you all read the Quran every morning, oh brothers? So we change that to feminine. You will have. Anybody want to try this one? Assalamualaikum. Nama kau lewat kan luar lah. Ini kelas nama. Kau lewat kan luar sama. Ya. Right, sorry about that. Where are we? Right. Number 6. Buddy, try that. Same pattern, we have the qaf, the ra, and the hamza. So you just put the sukoon on the hamza and a noon at the end. All right? Ataqra'na. Ataqra'na al-Qur'ana kulla sabahin ya akhawat. All right? Good. Any questions on these two exercises, or is it clear? Any concerns? Which one? Yeah, this from masculine plural to feminine plural. Second person. Both is second person. You. All right? Any other questions? Right, so the next exercise here, رقم 4. حول المبتدأ في كل من الجمل الآتية إلى جمع. So you're going to take the mubtada and change it to plural, okay? And let's see how that affects the sentence. So the first one, أنا أفهم الدرس جيدا. أنا أفهم الدرس جيدا. So أنا means I. أفهم, I understand. الدرس, the lesson. جيدا, good or well, right? I understand the lesson well. So we're going to change أنا to نحن. So the mubtada here is أنا, which means I, and we're going to change it to what? Plural, which is نحو. نحن, which is which means we. All right. Good. So let's see how it's changed here in the example. نحن نفهم الدرس جيدا. So I want you all to pay attention to this. So this is another way of conjugating the present tense verb. So just now we did 2 exercises practicing the second person masculine singular and second person feminine singular. Then we went to second person masculine plural and then second person feminine plural. Now we are looking at first person singular, first person plural. Note well that first person, there is no grammatical distinction between if the person speaking is masculine or feminine. I is I, whether it's a masculine person speaking or a feminine person speaking, okay? Whether it's a male or female. So, Ana afhamu. Notice how the word changes. Before we had what? We had the ya starting off the present tense verb. And then for the second person present tense, we had the ya changing to ta. Okay? So you had tadhabu, tadhabina, tadhabuna, tadhabna. All of them starting with ta. Now we have here ana afhamu. So it starts with what? The hamza. Okay, this hamza at the beginning here. Afhamu. And that changes to a noon for the plural. So ana afhamu. نحن نفهم. Okay, so say that after me, everybody. أنا أفهم الدرس جيدا. أنا أفهم الدرس جيدا. أنا أفهم الدرس جيدا. نحن نفهم الدرس جيدا. نحن نفهم الدرس جيدا. أنا لا أذهب إلى السوق كل يوم. أنا لا أذهب إلى السوق كل يوم. So we change it, you get نحن لا نذهب إلى السوق كل يوم. نحن لا نذهب. نحن لا نذهب. نحن لا نذهب. Come on, tell us, Scrappy. Next one. أنا أشكرك. أنا أشكرك يا أستاذ. أنا أشكرك يا أستاذ. أنا أشكرك يا أستاذ. So I thank you, O أستاذ. Now we change it to plural, we get نحن نشكرك. نعم. نحن نشكرك يا أستاذ. Next one. أنا أجلس أمام المدرس. I am sitting in front of the teacher. So we make it plural, we get نحن نجلس. Now, very straightforward. Just change the hamza to noon. أنا أجلس نحن نجلس. أنا أجلس نحن نجلس. Okay? Good. So we're skipping, we're going to رقم 5 now. All right? All right, so in this one here, we have right. أمام كل جمل صيغتان للفعل اختر الصيغة الصحيحة وأكمل بها الجملة. So for each sentence, we have two options. From the same verb, you have the same verb, and you have two different conjugations, right? Or in Arabic, we say the sigha. And you have to choose the correct one based on the sentence. So if it's masculine, choose masculine, feminine, to feminine, singular, choose the singular, second person, third person, first person. You choose accordingly which is the correct one, right? So it's pretty straightforward. Let's go through it here. في أي سنة something يا فتاة. في أي سنة something يا فتاة. We have two. We have تدرس and تدرسين.
تدرس.
تدرسين, because it's فتاة, right? It's a young lady, all right? So في أي سنة تدرسين يا فتاة. Next one. Something اسم الطبيب الذي يسكن أمام بيتنا يا أحمد. So it's تعرفين. Be careful. We have two different things being spoken about there. We have the ismu tabib, we have the Baituna, and you have the Ahmad.
Oh.
Which is the correct one?
Baituna.
Baituna, but which is the correct form of the verb we choosing here? And who does it refer to?
Yeah, Baituna, yeah. You have to use the plural. Because it's Baituna.
Right. Hold on. Well, who is being spoken to?
Baituna Ahmad.
Ahmad is being spoken. Ahmad is singular. All right. So what this sentence means, well, the correct one is ta'rifu. Ta'rifu, because he's speaking to Ahmad. You, masculine singular. So it's ta'rifu. So what does the sentence mean? Ata'rifu ismu tabibi, or isma tabibi. Do you know the name of the doctor? Alladhi yaskunu amama baytina, that lives in front of our house. O Ahmad. Okay? So it's probably Ahmad's sibling or mother or father is speaking to him. So that's why they use our house, meaning Ahmad lives together with them there. All right? So we have to use the masculine singular one there. Everybody understand that? أتعرف اسم الطبيب الذي يسكن أمام بيتنا يا أحمد. So you have a lot of filler in the middle. You have a lot of filler in the middle. But the crux of this sentence is أتعرف اسم الطبيب يا أحمد. So that is the basics of this. That is the basic crux of the sentence. The other things, الذي يسكن أمام بيتنا, that is just a filler, a clause put in the middle there. Right? So you always have to look at the basic sentence. Next one, لماذا something الواجبات بالقلم الأحمر يا بناتي. Why? لماذا? Why something الواجبات, the homework, بالقلم الأحمر, with a red pen. يا بنات, oh my, يا بناتي, oh my daughters. Taktubna, now. So you have taktubuna and taktubna. So immediately we see who is being spoken to here is the of girls. So you use taktubna, right? Afi waqt al-amali, something, ya abana'i. Is it any time for work? Something, oh my sons. So would it be tal'abuna or tal'abna? Tal'abuna. Tal'abuna, because it is an abana. Abana is boys, right? So with the first one.
Sure.
Right. So we have here Afi waqt al-amali, something ya abana'i. Abana is plural of ibn. Ibn is son, all right, or boy. For my sons. All right, so that's boys. Masculine, yeah. So we have to use tal'abuna. So we can kind of this.
banana,
تلعبون. This one is تكتبنا. This one is تعرفوا. This is تعرفين. All right. Let's do the last one here, and then we will go on to the next exercise, right? متى something إلى سوق يا أبي. Is it تذهب أو تذهبين؟ تذهب. نعم. تذهب. Yes. أبي single, masculine singular, right? All right. So any questions on this? Please attempt. Very easy. You all have the books. You just fill it out, underline the correct one. Right? Please just read it through and attempt just by underlining the correct one. It's very good practice, inshallah. Right? Right. So the next exercise is basically highlighting the difference between inna and anna. Inna and anna. So here we have تأمل الأمثلة الآتية. Observe the following examples. So you all can say after me. سمعت أنها أحسن طبيبة في المستشفى. سمعت أنها أحسن طبيبة في المستشفى. Next one. يقولون إنها أحسن طبيبة في المستشفى. Now, notice here, you're saying the same thing, right? Well, you're saying the same thing towards the end of the sentence. In the beginning, we have the first example, سمعت أنها. I heard that she is the best doctor in the hospital. Okay? The second one is saying what? يقولون, which is what? قال يقول قل means what? See. Right? So يقولون, they see. So قال is he said. يقول, he says, present tense. And you add the waw and the noon at the end, you get يقولون, they see, plural. Okay? Again, قال means what? He said. يقول means what? He says, present tense. You add the beginning, right? يقول. And then you add the waw and the noon at the end, يقولون. يقولون, they see. إنها أحسن طبيبة في المستشفى. So one is, I heard that she is the best doctor in the hospital. And the next one is, they say that she is the best doctor in the hospital. Okay? Now, notice in one, we say annaha, and the next one we say innaha. Okay? So the particle inna changes to anna if there's a verb coming before it, except for the verb qala, yaqulu, or yaquluna. All right? So basically, you could recall that inna is at the beginning of sentences, verily or indeed, right? But if it comes in the middle of a sentence, it changes to anna. Changes to what? Anna. Except if it's yakulu before it, qala yakulu. And that is understandable because, you know, qala yakulu is like a quotation. So what comes after it, it comes like a new sentence. In grammar, it's not a new sentence, but in terms of you quoting somebody, it's like a new sentence is starting. All right? Remember I said it's like, it's not a new sentence here, it's like a new sentence. In English, you would put quotation marks and you would you would have you probably would start with a capital letter as a new sentence, as in English. In Arabic, this is, kind of understood in yakulu, right? So that is why we use the inna here instead of the anna. But in other cases, once the inna comes in the middle of a sentence, it changes to anna. Okay? Inna anna. Let's look at the next example. Inna al-Qur'ana kitabullahi. Inna al-Qur'ana kitabullahi. Verily, the Quran is the book of Allah. Right? Let's see what they say here in the notes. So this is the explanation here. في أول الجملة you have إن. بعد قال إن. بعد الأفعال الأخرى أن. Okay, so you see that? So at the beginning of a sentence, what do you have? إن. If it's after قال يقول, you also use إن. All right? But that inna now changes to anna when al-af'al al-ukhra, the other verbs. All the other verbs, if it occurs before inna, the inna changes to anna. All right? It's pretty straightforward. Any questions about that? All right, so you have the examples here. اقرأ الجمل الآتية مع ضبط همزة. Anna. So read the following sentences with focus or place in the hamza. Correct, in the correct place. So you have here أظن إنه or أنه. أظن إنه or أنه طالب جديد. Again, is it إنه or أنه? Anybody?
أنه.
أنه, نعم, because there's a verb before it. That is not قال يقول. Next one. قال المدرس أن or إن الطالب الجديد مجتهد جيدا. نعم إن. قال المدرس إن الطالب الجديد مجتهد جدا. Next one. سمعت إن or أن المدرس ما جاء اليوم. أن, because it's coming after a verb that is not قال. Right? So once it's a verb that is not قال يقول, we have أن. Right? إن الله ربي or أن الله ربي. Which one?
إن.
نعم. إن الله ربي. Verily Allah is my Lord. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. We will skip all your other exercise, other practice. Please, you all practice it on your own. Any questions, please text me and ask me. All right. All right, so this is the last exercise in this chapter. It's pretty straightforward. هذه أسماء أيام الأسبوع. هذه أسماء أيام الأسبوع. These are the names for the days of the week. These are the names for the days of the week. So say after me. We're just going to go through it quickly. يوم السبت.
يوم السبت.
يوم السبت.
السبت.
يوم الأحد. يوم الأحد. يوم الاثنين.
يوم الاثنين.
يوم الثلاثاء. يوم الثلاثاء
يوم
يوم الأربعاء يوم الخميس يوم الجمعة يوم الجمعة. Of course, you have the ta marbut at the end. So if you're stopping, you have to get the ha. You put in a sukun on your last letter, right? Yawmul Jumu'ah. Ha. Continue and you'll say Yawmul Jumu'ati. Right? So everybody know what is Yawmul Jumu'ah? Na'am? So if you go back to the top, Yawmul Sabt will be what day?
Saturday,
Saturday. Yawmul Ahad. Monday. Yawmul Ithnain. Monday. Yawmul Thulatha. Tuesday. Yawmul Arbi'a. Wednesday. Yawmul Khamis. Thursday. And Yawmul Jumu'ah. Friday. Okay. So al-yawm, yawmul al-arbi'a, yawmul khamis. Al-an, yawmul jumu'ah, yawmul arbi'a, or yawmul khamis. Yawmul khamis. Yawmul arbi'a is Wednesday, and yawmul khamis is Thursday. Right? But we know after Maghrib, Tuesday begins in Islamic calendar. All right? So now it's after Maghrib, so it is the night of Yawmul Khamis. Okay. Al-Kalimat al-Jadidatu, the new words. So say after me, Dawa'un, Adwiya, Adwiyatun, Wajibatun, Darun, Jiranun, Tilmidun, Talamidhatun, Tilmidhatun, Tilmidhatun. So you all know what is that, right? So dawa is the medicine, plural, adawiyatu. Wajibatun is homework. Jarun is a neighbor. Jiranun is plural, neighbors. Tilmid is a student. Talamid, students. Tilmidatun, female students. Tilmidatun, plural, female students, right? Right. Rakmun. Rakmun means a number, right? So Rakm Wahid, Rakm Isnain, and so on. Number 1, number 2. Rakmun is a number, right? Arqamun is plural. Hatifun is what? Telephone. Naam. Hawatifun is plural, right? Amalun. Amalun is work. Amalun is works or deeds, right? Waqtun is
season.
Waqtun is a season or time period, right? Right, or time. Plural is awqatun. Awqatun. Right, so if you want to ask the time now, you say Kamil waqt, what is the time? Or fi ayyi waqt tadhhab, in what time, or what time are you going? You know, like that. Right? So the plural is awqatun. Awqatun. Next, last line. Waziru al-kharijiyya. Waziru al-kharijiyya. Wazir is a minister. Wazir is what? A minister. Right? And yeah, kharij is like outside. Outside. Kharijiyyati is the outside minister. Or in English we say the what? Foreign minister, the foreign minister. So you have a government, you have a foreign minister, deal with other countries. That is the title for it, right? Waziratul Kharijiyyati. Next word. Shahidun. or this is a verb, shahidun is the witness, right? And the present tense is what? Yashhadu. So remember, when we learn a verb, we have to learn the past tense and the present tense at the same point in time, right? So shahidun yashhadu. Shahidun yashhadu. Say it after me. Shahidun yashhadu. Last word, dahika yadhaku. Dahika yadhaku, which means to laugh. Dahika yadhak. Right? So that's the end of chapter number 12. Any questions? All right. So we'll close off now, but before we close off, I just want to look at this table quickly here. This is chapter number 13, and we need to, we will go over this, and this is a good summary of the previous few chapters, all right? All right, so chapter number 13, Ad-Darsu Athalitha Ashara. Ad-Darsu Thalitha Ashara. Or the 13th lesson. So we have a nice table here. Okay. Let's see if you have the whole thing on the screen here. Oops. Lost it there.
15.
Just had it here, now it's lost. Let's see. Try it now. All right. See what else it is now. All right, so we have here a table split into two columns, two main columns, al-mufradu, al-jam', al-mufradu, al-jam'. So say after me, al-mufradu, al-mufradu, al-jam', al-mufradu, al-jam'. Mufrad is singular, al-jam' is plural, okay? Al-mufradu, al-jam', singular and plural. So everything on this side is singular, everything on this side is plural. Okay. Now when you come down in the rows now, you have three groups. What are the three groups? Al-ghaibu, which is third person, al-khatibu, al-mukhatibu, and this is the second person, and al-mutakallim, which is the third person. Sorry, first person, right? So you have third person first, then second, and then first. All right. So ghaib means absent, so that's the third person. Al-mukhatab is the person being addressed, so that's the second person. And al-mutakallim is the person yatakallam, or the person that is speaking. So this is the first person. Right? Again, what do you have here? Mufrad, jam, al-ghaib, al-mukhatab, and al-mutakallim. Right? Now under each, you have al-mudhakkar and al-mu'annath. Masculine and feminine, masculine and feminine, masculine and feminine. Right? So we have here examples of how this verb, dhahaba, is conjugated in each case. And they did it very nicely in a sentence, so we appreciate how it's used and what is used with. All right? So let's look at it quickly. So you have Hamidun yadhabu. Hamid goes, right? So the plural is what? Hamidun wa aliyun wa hashimun yadhabuna. Again, Hamidun wa aliyun wa hashimun yadhabuna. خامد وعلي وهاشم يذهبون. You have the مؤنث آمنة تذهب.
آمنة تذهب.
آمنة. The jam is what? آمنة ومريم وزينب يذهبن. Now you have the مخاطب, which is the second person. المذكر أنت تذهب. أنتم تذهبون. أنت تذهبين. أنتن تذهبن. Notice here, please, that if you look at the plural for the third person here, what do you have here? يذهبون for male, يذهبن for female. Look at it for second person. تذهبون and تذهبن. See, the only difference is what? The ya changed to what? Ta. See? So it's pretty straightforward, these patterns. And of course, for the mutakallim or the first person, we have masculine and feminine is used one type or one expression. Ana adhabu, nahnu nadhabu. Right? Simple. Ana, nahnu. Ana. Right? Ana adhabu, nahnu nadhabu. Straightforward. All right. Any questions quickly before we close off? So this is a good resource. If you all can print out this page, keep it in your textbook, keep it in your notebooks, to the back, to the front, right? Stick it up by your desk if you wish, and you can refer to it, inshallah. If there are no questions, we will close off now with dua for kafara and surah al-Asr. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات تواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.